lopsided. Hello everyone, welcome back. You know, today's a busy day. I have been canning. I've got some pumpkin butter canned. I'm dehydrating potatoes. I'm canning turkey bone broth. I'm going to show you all those videos. You're going to see them later. But, been a busy morning. Got the pressure canner already going there. Some dehydrator's not going yet. But we're also upping our game this year for our garden. We have placed orders and we're receiving things. And today we are expected to be getting our worms in. We already had worms, but life got in the way. We needed to replenish our worm totes. So we're getting our worms in today. We've got to get the tote ready for them, get everything set up, and I want to take you along for the day, and then we'll show you some of the other stuff that we've gotten that is going to greatly change the game for gardening this year. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoy. So, we got the tote. This is the one we were using. We thought we had filled it up to max capacity, but we hadn't. So, I just made sure the soil was wet. You don't want it too wet, but you hear that little bit of squish, some moisture in there. So, it's all nice and wet now. And now I've got to add in the food. And we actually just got the worms. So, the worms are going to go into their happy home. Is that what it is? Yeah, sure, happy home. So, let me set you up while we do this. Okay, so, I'm trying to get myself in the frame too. I have some greens that I had gotten for the dragons. We didn't finish them. So, I'm just going to find a spot and just dig a hole. You guys can kind of see me doing stuff, but you don't fully see it. It's either, I don't want to just give you that shot. And I'm just going to put these greens in there. They will eat these up. Instead of them going into the trash. So, those are going to go into the hole. And then I'll just bury them. That helps to detour, like, fruit flies and that. And then we got our box of wormies. Mike's gonna have to do a little bit of an edit because our address was showing and all that fun stuff. But we got our box of worms. We ordered from Uncle Jim's Worm Farm, and they come in these bags like this. I have not checked them yet, so hopefully they are alive. Hopefully they are well. Ordering in the winter is questionable because they don't like the cold, but, well, we had to order them. There we go. I'm like, why can't I get it? So, you open up the bag. We're going to see how they look. I see moving worms. That's a good sign. We got 500 worms. They look pretty good. They do look pretty good. Let's show you. You can see all the movement. They get shipped in dry bedding, so they're drying out a little bit. They need to get into that moisture, and worms don't like light. So you want to leave this lid off for a while so that way they're encouraged to go into the soil and not climb out of the tote. They say it was cold out there. It was cold. These guys look very eager to get buried. So they got food. I still have other food I've got to give them still too. But it looks like we got a good shipment. So I'm happy about that because that was a concern. That was a concern. So let me spray that down because we want to get this dry stuff damp. Because it's pretty dry. That'll dry out my other soil. And my other soil is not extremely wet. So we don't want that happening. So for getting these bins wet, we like to use this sprayer. Just fill it up with some water. And I think we need more water. So I'm going to go get some more water, but I'm also going to show you, we got our warm food. This is a mixture that we make up. Mike would have to tell you what's all in there. I know there's like oats and that in there. I don't remember everything. That's more Mike's thing. And then we've got the oyster shells. That's really good for their gullet. So you want to put some of that in there for them to eat because that's really good for the gullet. And then I gotta go get some water and I'm gonna dampen all this down. So as I said earlier, we have ordered a lot of stuff to help up our game with the gardening this year. Some of which being seeds, which I did mention earlier. We got our shipment in, and we've got books, and that's not really for the garden, but it's something else that we needed. So we're going to unbox the stuff, what we got, show you what we got, and you'll kind of get to see what we're doing this year, or planning.
You want to do books, just get them out of the way?
Yeah, we can do the books first. Those are just kind of out.
So we got a series of 3 books, all came from the same author. All kind of, it's a series of books, it's all along the same lines. So we have Companion Planting, so it talks about the plants that you want to plant next to each other and the ones you don't want to plant, and then it gives you organic plants because it also, if you learn which plants want to grow together, it pretty much eliminates the need for any kind of fertilizer or pesticides. So really good book to learn. The next book we got was Raised Beds. So it's raised bed gardening. If you guys don't know anything about it, I know very little. That's why I bought a book. But it's basically a raised up garden bed that's could be any range of footage off the ground. You'll fill it in with stuff like wood and debris, leaves, and things like that, dirt, and then over the years it breaks down, decomposes, or composes, and it ends up just naturally fertilizing the soil as it breaks down. So another good book to kind of read and learn, because I'm sure you can kind of apply those even into your regular garden if you kind of learn about nutritional aspects of your soil. And then the last one was greenhouse gardening, because I have been talking for, I don't know what, a year at least?
It's probably been at least 2 years you were talking about converting the screen room into a greenhouse, so
I know a lot of you guys haven't seen the back of our house, but we have a screen in it, or not a screen, we have a sunroom, so it's a bunch of windows and stuff. I talked about just kind of converting that whole thing over to a greenhouse. We talked about building a greenhouse in the backyard, just in the yard. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while because it gives us the opportunity to grow stuff that, it's stuff we could always grow, but it's in times that we couldn't normally grow. It's something I want to experiment with. It's definitely something I want to check out. So it was a must. So we picked up all 3 of these books. Relatively cheap. I think we paid $40 for all 3.
I don't even think it was that. I think it was closer to 30.
It might have been. But we picked up all 3 off Amazon for very, very cheap. So if you guys are interested in gardening, you can pick these up. They don't have a price on them, like most books do, but they're not very expensive. So even if you're not interested in all of the topics, you're only interested in the companion planting or raised bed gardening, you can pick one of those up. You don't necessarily have to pick the series up like I did.
See, we're kind of doing a lot of experimenting this year, so that's some of the experiment. Like, we've never done raised beds, we've never done greenhouse. Probably won't have a greenhouse this year because that's the whole project. But that's some of it, and we've got some other stuff on its way that we'll probably have an unboxing video for. That's some other experiments we're trying out to see what works out best for planting this year. And then I guess I'll show the other book we got. We've had worm bins in the past. I'll just show you up close right away. We've had the worm bins in the past. We know basics of the worm bins, but it's usually time. It's usually time that causes the issue, but we're hoping that maybe this book will give us some ideas of ways to cut time down that we have to take in the worm bins, or give us some tips and tricks that will help create a better environment for the worm bins to thrive without us having to put so much time and effort into it. So we got this book. It's hopefully going to give us some tips, tricks, pointers, how to start a worm bin. It's just a basic guide. Some of it's stuff we know, some of it's stuff we didn't know. So hopefully that'll help us a little bit with the worm bins. This book was like $10.99. If you're interested in starting a compost bin, it was like $10, $10.99, something like that, off of Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. I'm sure you could find it on Amazon as well.
We'll try to link the book as well with these. And Uncle Jim's Worm Farm is where I've been buying worms for a very, very long time, and I'm super happy with them. If you guys are interested in doing a compost bin, indoors or outdoors, you can do them both. The worms will survive out in the wild if you provide them the same nutritional stuff that they need indoors. So as long as you're feeding them, like even in the winter right now, if we had a nice compost bin going with actual warmth from it composting, the worms will stick around all winter. So highly recommend Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. Again, not affiliated, just been using them for a very long time, and I don't have any complaints with the worms. I've never had problems with shipping.
So we decided we were going to order the seeds this year for a few reasons. Troy's going to come join us. Last year, seeds sold out extremely fast in the stores. It was hard to find a lot of the seeds. Even going to the greenhouses and buying plants that were already planted, a lot of stuff like jalapenos and stuff, they were gone. There was none. So we decided to go through a company. Now that turned into a fiasco too. We went on to multiple sites. We had one site we originally picked out, and even though it's winter, many sites already were sold out of most of their seeds, and their expected delivery,
like September next year,
we were getting it by spring. So we had to go through a lot of different sites looking for a site to go to. I found something online that said the top 10 seed sites to go to order, and this was one of them that was listed. So that gave me a little bit of reassurance as well. You want a good seed if you're going to pay more money, essentially. It's a little bit more to get this than from the store. So we went...
Clarify really quick. We have never ordered seeds offline at all, let alone from this company. So we didn't know what we were doing as far as like how everything was going to go. We've always bought the packets at the store you see, so this is something new completely to us. We've never done this before.
And by going this route, that also opened the door to some seeds that you don't find in the stores. Like some of these seeds I've never seen in the stores. So it opened the door to some more experimenting. But we went to Johnny's Seeds. It's Johnny's Selected Seeds company. But I don't know if they have a home front where they sell at the store, but they have an online store. They had most of their seeds in stock. So if you're looking for seeds, you probably want to check them out.
Yeah, we'll put them down below. Maybe.
We'll try.
Well, the books and that hopefully will be linked down below. We'll try to link all this stuff down below. None of it's affiliated, so at least this is our honest opinion, because we're not getting any kind of kickbacks, any kind of paid promotion or sponsorships or anything like that. This is all, we paid for everything. We're not affiliated with any companies, so my opinion is my opinion. I get to say what I want.
And before we dive into the seeds, I will say just the initial, they had most of them in stock, which was a plus. And we got them relatively fast. We had them within a week of ordering them. One seed packet in here did not come from them. That had to go through someone else. But
we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll set it to the side.
But I will say the initial presentation that we've had so far, it was fast delivery. It was in stock for the most part. That we didn't have the issue of the no stock. And I thought the prices were pretty decent. They were not horribly high compared to the stores. You can get them a little cheaper maybe at the store, but it wasn't bad.
So they all come kind of in the same style packaging. Very simple, very simplistic. You do have multiple different sizes depending on what you order and how much you order. So that's kind of like typical seed package you get.
Slightly bigger.
That one's a little bit bigger.
Then we got the big guys down here. These ones, there's 2 or 3 different sizes. You got that one, then that one, which is like the middle.
To your normal seed package.
And then we got the jumbo right there.
Compared to your seed package. So, obviously, there's a lot in that package.
And I'm going to make note, when I buy seeds from the store, I don't smell the product. This one's cilantro. I can actually smell cilantro when I picked up the packet. So, I would think that might be a good seed.
So, the big one is cilantro. This one's spinach. And then we got kale. Because I wanted to try kale because I heard there's a lot of really good health benefits out of it. And then we also got a hybrid corn because we're going to try doing some corn against the fence. We had dill, and then we got okra.
Chives. I was like, where is it? Some onions and some watermelon, sugar baby watermelon.
And then to go along with the corn, it's going to probably grow right there with them. We have a hybrid popcorn. Something we've never done. It's completely new to us, but we wanted to give it a shot. We have big beef tomatoes. We have a hybrid sweet pepper, which is certified organic. We also have a hybrid hot pepper. It's a Jedi jalapeno seed. And then we have sage.
That we've never done before. We've got some lemon balm, some thyme, some oregano, habaneros, tomatillos, another lettuce mix, got 2 of those, and then some sweet banana peppers.
And then we have a hybrid red onion. We have common mint. Got 2 packs of those. We have Washington cherry tomatoes. They're certified organic as well. A lot of these we try to get certified organic if we could, if they had the option and they weren't sold out. Washington cherry tomatoes are, if I remember, like on a bigger scale of cherry tomatoes, so they're not necessarily going to be real super tiny. We have another hybrid sweet pepper. And then we have slicing cucumbers.
And then the last one here we have cumin, pickling cucumbers, and parsley. That packet felt like I had 2 packets, but it was 1.
Let me see one of those before you put it away. The cool thing on the front of these is, like I said, the design is very simplistic and very simple, and I love it. They also put, not only do they put what it is cumin, they tell you how many ounces of seed per pound. They tell you the full day cycle. So when it says days, they'll say 100 to 115 for cumin. So anywhere between 100 and 115 days after planting, you can harvest it. It also tells you the average height, which is 6 to 12 inches. It tells you it's an annual. And then some of them will have seed size. This one does not. But I'll give you guys kind of a close-up to that, if it'll focus. There you go. Kind of. But it's kind of cool that they put all that stuff right here on the label. I just thought it was really cool that they put that information right there on the label. And then they have a lot more information once you go to plant it. If you wanted to, you could go back to their website, go actually back to, like, say, the big beef. Click on it, and when you click on it, it has a ton of information that would be very useful and very helpful if you guys need any of that kind of help.
The regions, the seasons, all that, like when to plant it for your region. I will say their website gave you a lot of information. These seeds, you can actually smell the spices and stuff, especially. You can actually smell them on the seeds, so that's a good sign, I would say, compared to the store over-processed seeds. Some are organic. That was the biggest downfall we found, is this site didn't have as many organic options compared to some of the other sites. But they had them in stock. That was huge.
We did have to order this seed from somewhere else because, they got a lot of stuff at Johnny's, but they did not have this one, and we wanted it because we've heard a lot of good things about it. We're very interested in, I guess, kind of herbalism, which, you know, believing that herbs can offer some kind of medicinal use, and we're really trying to stay away, or not necessarily stay away from, but we're trying to avoid and kind of distance ourselves away from needing stuff like prescription antibiotics, prescription painkillers, even store over-the-counter stuff. Like, if there's any kind of herbs and stuff like that we can use to kind of use in a medicinal way instead of using, you know, chemical, just nasty stuff, we're trying our best to do it. So we heard a lot of good things about this. It's mullein, I believe is how you pronounce it, but we did have to order this from a separate place. I think we got it off of Amazon.
Yes.
So we did order it. It's supposed to be really good for respiratory stuff. And I don't know if it's going to focus. I will try to get it to focus so you guys can see the name, because I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It don't. There you go. So that's the name. It's mullein.
That is supposed to be, like, it's, you can make tea out of it, basically. You cut the leaves and use it to make tea, but it's supposed to be a great respiratory, medicinal plant. Some areas, it grows wild. We have never seen it. I've looked up the pictures. I've never seen it in our area. Not to say it's not there and people just don't cut it down, but it is basically a wild weed that most people just cut down. But it does have, as well, the sheet of paper it came with, it has a lot of information about it, which I will be reading because it's a new plant to us.
So to try to speed things up so it's not just us sitting here talking for 20 minutes, along with kind of canning, which you have seen on the channel, us kind of getting into the composting and gardening aspects, trying to be more self-sufficient. We also want to start kind of doing our own hunting. As far as like going down the hunting road, it's especially deer, but it's, you know, it's very important to field dress your animals, especially deer, because from what I've been told, the quicker you field dress them, the better the meat's going to be. So, to take into the field, I got this set. Is by Mossy Oak, and it is a very heavy duty, very nice kit. So again, no affiliations whatsoever, so I can give my honest opinion. So if they sucked, I'd tell you they sucked. If they looked like poor quality, I would tell you they look like poor quality. These are super nice knives, and I am a little bit of a collector, so I kind of know what a nice knife is, and these are nice knives. So everything in this pouch has a double snap security system, so you know these are not going to come out, because these are razor sharp. You got a nice little caping knife, super nice knife, very low, or very small, very low weight. It's very comfortable in your hands, even for a little knife. And like I said, these things are razor sharp.
So sharp that he doesn't really want me to touch them.
She stabbed herself pretty good with a steak knife. So next knife is gonna be your knife with your gut hook. So I don't know if it shows up on camera very good, but you got the hook. That is your gut hook. So this is again a very nice knife. Feels great in your hand. Made of very good quality. I don't know the stage of, or the gauge of steel, but it's a very nice. It almost feels like it's a synthetic mix, but it's a very nice looking wood handle. Very nice quality. I'm super happy with it. Feels really good in your hand, and like I said, it has a gut hook for, you know, easy slicing. I'm not gonna go into great detail. I know Facebook, or not Facebook. I know YouTube don't like it, so I don't want to really go into great details. I don't know how much of it we're gonna be showing when we do get an animal down, just because I want to take you guys hunting with me, but I know YouTube don't really. They don't really like it. And they are very, well, the big knife are very snug. Very snug in here. I don't think for a second they're going to go anywhere. I'm very confident with sticking these in my bag and not worrying about reaching in and getting stabbed by a knife. Another nice big knife is a very good knife if you need to cut, bleed them out, whatever it is. It's also really good if you need to cut rope. If you're up in a tree, you just hung a brand new, can't remember what they're called, but they have a pulley system you can use to pull up your bow, so you can tie it, climb up in your tree stand, and pull it safely up from the tree stand. If you need to tie rope for that, safety cord, once you get up in the tree, if you want to wear a harness and you want to have a safety tie, you need to cut a rope for that, or whatever you may need. This is a very super nice knife. And again, razor sharp. All these came. This is how knives should come. These all came razor sharp. So this is another kit by Mossy Oak, and it was the best bang for my buck that I could get. There are some nicer kits where you're going to spend some nice money. This is the butcher kit. So it comes just as you see. So you have gloves. They're basically just the stuff you would use for your, like, cleaning kitchen stuff. A small little cutting board. Then you have everything you could possibly want. You have a bone saw. I'm not actually going to dig all this crap out because that would take forever. So, you have the sharpener. You'll see it if you're watching kind of like cooking videos where they're professional chefs. You know what a sharpener is. You have a rib splitter. You have really super nice shears. Something we don't have in the kitchen, and we probably should. And then down here is your bone saw.
We have one thing that he might let me touch, the shears.
And then you have your little hatchet for chopping through bones and stuff as well, joints mainly. You have another nice little small caper knife. You have another knife with a gut hook, and then you have a really nice fillet knife down here at the bottom. So these things came a little more oily than I would like to have seen, but that's simple wash and it'll come right off. These are they're sharp, but they are not nearly as sharp as that hunting kit. But I'm overall pretty happy with it. You know, like I said, it's a little more oil on it than I would like to see, and you can wipe it and it comes off. So quick cleaning, and these should be good to go. Like I said, I got good blades on them. They have a really nice grip texture, so all this black in the handle is actually rubber, and then it's got little ridges on it, so it's really nice. Once you start cutting in and you're getting the juices from the meat and any possible blood that's left over, grabbing fat, it'll get on your hands and it gets slippery, so it's really nice to have a nice rubber grip to hold on to. I'll be honest, if I had the money, I would have probably gotten the nicer kit, which is by Mossy Oak as well. It's quite a bit more money though, but it's a nicer kit. I think it would be up to the same quality as the hunting kit because I spent a fair amount of money on this kit as well. But overall, I don't think this is going to be a bad set. I haven't used it at all, so I can't really give you an honest opinion on actual usage. I think it's going to do just fine though. But like I said, if I could do it again, I'd probably just upgrade to the next one if I had the cash. But I think on a budget, I think this is a very, 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 very good option for you guys.
We bought all this the same week, along with the other stuff that's on its way. So we spent a pretty penny on the stuff that we bought. If we wouldn't have bought the seeds and the other stuff, that knife set wouldn't have been such a big deal, just upgrading it at the time. But
we're trying to be conservative. We're trying to be conservative. We're trying to watch what we're spending on our money. We're trying to cut down on the bills we have. And that's where stuff like the seeds and everything comes in. If we can start growing our own stuff, we know where it came from. We know what chemicals were used on, which is going to be none. If we can go out and harvest our own animals and our own meat, we are talking about getting some chickens. And, well, we're talking about going to the auction, getting chickens that are already raised up and butchering them. That way we get chickens in the freezer. Right now we do have deer in the freezer. We're trying to get some chicken. We're trying to get other meat. That way we know where it came from. Ultimately, it's cheaper. And if we can start growing our own vegetables, knowing where they came from, especially getting certified organic vegetable seeds, and then planting them and using nothing but natural fertilizers like worm, tea, and worm castings, we know exactly what we're getting, and it's going to be a lot healthier and a lot more cost effective for us. So it's not, I could have put out the extra money if I wanted to, but right now we are wrapping up the home repairs, the home remodels, and I want to start putting money to the side because I want to get out of here. And the whole point of trying to wrap this all up was to be able to get the house on the market when we're ready for it and to find a property. We are trying to get out on our own homestead. I don't think we should take any more time. This segment has already been like 23 minutes, so we're going to wrap it up. We're just going to call it a day here. I appreciate you guys stopping by, checking the video out.
Stay positive. Stay motivated in this wonderful world that we're in. And we'll catch you on the next one.
If you guys are brand new to the channel, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button. Smashing the bell, it helps out a lot. It's absolutely free to do. I think the last time I checked, 97% of the people watching our videos are not subscribed. So if you guys are watching our content, you guys like it, make sure you guys are smashing that button for me. It helps out a lot, and like I said, it's completely free. It only takes you 2 seconds. Also, smash the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, promotes our channel, gets us out there, gets us to grow faster, which we would absolutely appreciate. It'll help us a ton. You guys have no idea. Subscribing and hitting the like takes 2 seconds to do both total. Absolutely free to do, and we would appreciate you absolutely to the end of the world. Those of you that stopped by, we love you. We appreciate you guys taking the time. We know you guys will be watching literally millions of different channels. So we appreciate you guys stopping by, checking us out, hanging out with us, and enjoying a little bit of knowledge and content. Like I said, all the links are going to be linked down below. The knives might be a little tricky, but I will do my best to find them and send them to her, or she'll find them. Everything else will be, everyone that we can find, let's put it that way. Any links we can find will be linked down below. Try to stay positive. Don't let the negativity in. There's going to be tons of negative people out there in the world. Negative people are just inherent to the population because, people are just, they suck. So don't let them get into your head. Don't let them bring you down. Have an amazing day. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.